What's up, everybody, and welcome back yet again to another drum playthrough review. So thank you everyone for tuning in and stopping by. Great to have everyone here. For everyone who's brand new, hello and welcome. My name is Nick. The reason why we like to do these is because we like to inform ourselves by watching the greatest drummers out there. Sometimes the worst drummers out there as well. Taking what we can from watching their technique, watching their content and whatnot, and using that so that way we can build ourselves and build our technique to become ultimately much better musicians. Why am I out of breath? So this is going to be a fun drum playthrough video today, and there's multiple reasons for this. So for one, I'm sure you guys probably saw this past Monday that I had put out like a new little type of video. It's like a little vlog kind of a deal. I got introduced to some really crazy bands, and one of the bands we actually got to hang out with afterward for about like 15 minutes or so, maybe after the end of the show, and it was a really great time. We were talking about a bunch of stuff, talking about some music, talking about life and whatnot. It was just overall, it was something that was kind of surreal. Anyway, the band that I was hanging out with after the show with Noah was the Omnific. I have never seen a band do what these guys do before in my lifetime. It's a band that consists of one drummer and two bassists. That's kind of crazy, because usually you would have to have some sort of a treble instrument in there, like a piano or like a guitar or something like that. No, not with these guys. But anyway, this was an entirely unique experience for me. I hadn't seen anything like it before. And so when we were chatting up and all that, we were just talking about that as an idea, and it is something that they talked about, they had as an idea from the beginning. I was talking a lot with their drummer, and he was saying that it was something that they wanted to do to stand out, since they're kind of a little bit more of a progressive group at that. And my, do they stand out. Immediately after the show, I was looking on YouTube to see, okay, does this drummer have any drum playthroughs on his videos? Because when I was watching them live, I was like, damn, this guy is a really good drummer. And guess what? They got drum playthroughs as well. By the way, afterward, we got a picture with them together, at least two of the members. The other bassist, Jack, was talking to somebody else off camera on the other side of the table there, but that's okay. I know it's like a super blurry photo, but I was holding the GoPro and I was also shaking with absolute excitement because I was just like, oh my God, I want to talk to these guys, because like I've never seen anything like this before. But it was an absolutely cool show. These guys rocked Richmond. This man does have drum playthroughs available on the YouTube. He goes under Mullet Man, which I know is not his real name. His name's like Jerome or something like that, I believe. But he's an absolutely monster drummer. And the dude's got chops for days. He's got a lot of different stuff that he's been able to piece together with his drumming. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at a drum playthrough that he did of one of the band's songs, the Omnific. And the song is called Wax and Wane. They did play this live, and by the way, excellent song. So we're going to go ahead and watch the drum playthrough so that way we can break down what exactly this man is doing and show an example of how excellent his technique is. Because by the way, it is excellent. All right. Well, without further ado, ladies and gents, let us get right into the playthrough. If you ever get the chance, by the way, to see these guys live, highly recommend. Sick mullet, by the way. Yeah, just look at how relaxed he is, though, when he's playing this. He looks like he's, you know, got the stank bass going on, so it looks like he's putting in a ton of effort, but in reality, his playing is very relaxed and loose. But it looks so fun to watch him play. Lots of great ghost notes going on in there. Oh, yeah. Like, he's just an absolute joy to watch play drums, dude. It's sick. He's got very, very good solid accents on there. He's not doing anything too, like, you know, crazy with his accents. It doesn't sound like mismatched. All the volume levels sound the same. Very good dynamic control. He's very loose. You can tell by how he's gripping the sticks. He's very loose, and he's not straining or struggling to play this. He's very effectively using the rebound on the drums, too. Yeah, so it looks like we got some full leg motion, honestly, going on in there with the bass drums. It's not a super fast part or anything like that, but it's good. It fits the part. So full leg motion kind of fits with that. And that's a lot coming from the hip flexor, so the best way to do that is to do some hip flexor exercises and just practice. You can do this without even like needing pedals or a bass drum. You just move your leg up and down like you're, miming along to like a bass drum track. That's a good way to practice your hip flexors and all that. This little metric modulation part that he added in there too. Tasty fills as well. Which can we just also say as well, very, very tasty cymbal work. Very good fills. Very good stick catch too. That doesn't happen a lot. Usually whenever I try and do like a stick toss and a twirl, I always drop it. So he's already better than me there. But this guy, yeah, he's just a phenomenal drummer. The other cool thing about these guys is that they are an instrumental group. It's really cool to see an instrumental group like this out there. It keeps the metal scene fresh and very inventive and nice and progressive. Because like, what band out there is going to play with 2 bassists and just a drummer and do it all instrumentally? Not a lot. That's why these guys are so good. But like, just look at the energy he's got too. He's vibing, bro. Very good, solid power on those rim shots. Looks like he's doing crossovers too on his time, which it always looks really cool to see crossovers because not a lot of people do that anymore. Yeah. Very good hand coordination. Oh yeah. That's sick, yeah. Such a good little tasty fill at the ending part here. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah, Jerome freaking killed it there. Just like he killed it in Richmond. That was a good show. Excellent show. Well, that man, Jerome, also known as Mullet Man, what an excellent playthrough that we have there. Now let's break down some of that technique. He's using on his ghost notes mostly fingers, and the reason why is because he's not worried about getting a lot of power out of it, and mostly when it comes to finger technique on ghost notes, you don't want it to be very loud and powerful. You want it to be just like it sounds, like ghost notes. It's very light. It helps to add feel to it. You want to keep it generally light, so using a lot, either just a really light wrist motion or even just some different finger techniques and all that, that's pretty much what you want to do when you're trying to do ghost notes. When he's doing anything else like accents or anything like that, it's wrist technique. And the reason why is because there's nothing that comes close to the power of what wrist technique actually gives you. You can't really replicate the same power with fingers, and you can't really replicate the same power with stuff like push pull and whatnot. So definitely using wrist technique is going to give you that power, especially for accents. And nothing else sounds better than just a nice solid rim shot using a wrist technique. It really is. It's excellent. We obviously saw with his legs, he was using full leg motion because he wasn't doing anything super crazy fast, so it didn't demand like some insane ankle motion. But you'll notice when he was doing it, he was keeping his feet pretty loose as well when he did it. He wasn't like forcing his heels way up and playing like heel up while he was doing the full leg motion. He was keeping his heels actually kind of down while he was playing it. The best part about that is that it helps you to stay relaxed and not use up as much energy while you're doing your bass drum technique. One problem that I do see a lot of people do when they start to do full leg motion or anything like that, they actually start to raise up their heels and they play heel up a lot. And there can be a couple reasons for this. One could be that they have their drum throne hiked up, so that way they're above their kit and playing above their kit. And so that could be causing them some problems as far as like, oh, I'm too high up on my kit, so I have to play with my heels up. And the thing is, sometimes playing with your heels up, that can actually wear you out a little bit more, because you are actually flexing not only parts of your shin muscle as well, but also your calves as well. That's going to burn up a whole lot more energy. So sometimes playing a little bit softer and playing a little bit more loose and having your heel down while you play it is going to be a little bit easier. You're not going to use up as much energy when you're playing, and so therefore your playing could actually benefit pretty well from it. If you've trained though with your heels up and you're just kind of used to it at this point, that's fine. It's not really something that's going to be, you know, detrimental to your technique or anything like that, or detrimental to your playthroughs, but it is something that you may want to consider if you're just starting out. Like, well, hey, do I want to worry about training to, you know, produce more power or anything like that, or am I going to be a little bit more worried about endurance and whatnot? It's just a couple things to think about. Something too that you saw that he was doing in there was a lot of different polyrhythms and a lot of different stuff to do with like metric modulation, ghost notes, and also complementing the bass guitars that were in the mix. This all comes from a lot of practice. There's no like special technique that you can use that's gonna resemble what he was trying to do in the video and what he was doing in the video. There's no special technique that does that. The only thing that will do that is practice, because ultimately, especially when it comes to the different instruments in the band, the bass drums on your drums and the bass guitars are going to be very closely related together. Not only because of where they lie on the hertz ranges when you're doing mastering or anything on the EQ spectrum, but also because the bass guitar helps to blend the drums into the mix with the guitar and the other treble instruments, so that way things sound a lot tighter. So something that with a playthrough like this where it's very tight, it's very nice and organized and everything like that, and everything's very well formed, fit together, and the accents are complementing the bass guitars and all that, that's something that comes with a lot of practice, and that's something that comes with a lot of different writing techniques and writing style, you know, progression that happens over the years. It's not something that he gained overnight for sure. It's something that he developed into a style over a long period of time and a lot of playing. When I talked to him after the show, he talked about how he's been drumming for like 17 years or something like that. The dude's an absolute beast. And live, he sounds absolutely excellent. He didn't miss a single note live. And I remember when I watched them play this song live, he did not miss a single note in this song. It's absolutely crazy. Not to mention that, but not only is he the drummer, but he's also the frontman of the band, which leads me to another section into why this playthrough is so great. Energy. He brought so much energy into that playthrough with just nodding his head along and whatnot, the expressive faces and everything that he's doing, or even just looking over to the camera going, you know, something like that, even every so often. That makes me want to watch more of your playthroughs, because I'm like, hey, I like the energy that this guy puts off. That makes me want to go to their live shows, because I'm like, hey, I like the energy that this guy's putting off. Energy as a drummer is something that you cannot just take for granted or anything like that. That's what helps actually bring the energy to your shows as well. I've talked about this multiple times before on my other videos, but as a drummer, having good energy and being able to direct the room as well with your energy is highly, highly important. It's not just something that's reliant on a frontman or anything like that. The drummer helps to carry the vibe a whole lot too, because just switching up the backbeat to a completely different thing is going to change the entire mood of the room and completely. Like, you may not even think about it, but like if you're watching a band play a song, right, and they're keeping their backbeat on their 2 and their 4, and then all of a sudden they switch it to a breakdown with the backbeats on the 3, the mood changes. So just make sure that you're thinking about these things as well when you're doing your drumming. But yeah, other than that, what an excellent playthrough on Jerome's part. Absolutely sick. And if he ever does get to see this video, bro, you guys killed it in Richmond. Please come back. We want to see you guys again. And with all that being said, y'all, that's going to be the end of this video. So thanks for stopping by. Here's a few things y'all can do to support me. So for one, you can like, share, comment, subscribe on the video. That would always really help out. You can always check out the playlist I have down below with videos similar to this. You can also check out the links I have down below to my band Spotify page and also my band's YouTube page as well. That would be really nice. And with all that being said, y'all, that's the end of this video. So thanks for tuning in and stopping by. Great to have you guys here. And I will see y'all in the next playthrough. Peace.